You are now entering the box. Okay, we are back for only the second Creative Convo.
It's been a while.
Really fucking fell off on that. Creative Convo, reminder, we're going to play a video. Today is Back to the Future. Got Brendan here. And we're going to analyze it, talk a little bit about it, what went into it.
Yeah.
We're going to try to do more of these this year.
Hopefully we got some good stuff to talk about. So.
All right, you want to jump into the video? Should we do this? We're going to play it, give a little commentary, and then we'll go through and dissect it part by part. We got to feel like Siskel and Ebert in here. Nova Girl.
I think Nova was.
Get those. Get that pause thing off the bottom, Ryan. Let me get that full screen, dog. Ace is acting on point.
Yeah.
Got the garage.
Yeah, I love that there's just this garage in the middle of the parking lot.
You know, nobody commented on that, though. There was a couple people that pointed out a couple things, but nobody commented out of that. This is craziness. Out of nowhere.
Andrew, Asa, you made it.
So this is all green screen right now for those people that don't know. Me getting out of that truck was green screen. The spin. I love that. We went back and filmed that too. I was like, gotta get that spin in.
Little details.
So we were supposed to do this at White Oaks when I filmed this on the green screen, and then we got kicked out of White Oaks.
Yeah. Talk about that later.
Great camera work.
That great prop that we got sitting here.
Watch this.
Not me, the truck.
So this was when we didn't get kicked out of White Oaks Mall.
Yeah. This was all the stuff we filmed. I think that was the first stuff we filmed. It was with the Cybertruck before it was wrapped.
Yeah.
You're gonna see some serious shit.
Some serious shit. The key prop here. Somebody did comment and give shit about the sound, the motor sound.
Oh, yeah.
On that. The guy in a Tesla group, he's like, the whole thing's legit besides the motor sound.
I'm pretty sure.
I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that.
I'm pretty sure in the original Back to the Future, it's definitely not a DeLorean motor sound either. They used a different sound effect.
I was just like, fair.
Yeah.
That was my response.
Oh, snap.
Fire.
What did I tell you? 88
miles an hour.
Jesus Christ. You disintegrated Nova. Calm down, Asa. I didn't disintegrate anything. Both of them are perfectly fine. Where the hell are they? The appropriate question is, where the hell are they? They just became the world's first time traveler. I sent them into the...
Again, all green screen.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You're telling me you built a time machine out of the Cybertruck?
Craziness.
We're going to build a time machine. Why not do it with some
How, with my hair, was there much problem with the green screen?
Not a lot, actually. I think just because it was lit so well, it actually worked pretty well. I think I did have to... I had to do a couple other, green screen effects, as well as just the main effect to get it to look a little bit better, but it was pretty good otherwise.
That was one thing I was worried about. Look at that. Focus rack. Or pole. Whatever.
What? Is it ruined?
Gotta love the marker.
Yeah.
The marker logo
On the back of the suit.
For less than the cost of a single employee.
Nova.
I was showing this to someone. They're like, if that dog gets hurt. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to hurt my dog.
Have you seen the
He
movie?
said, you know what this means? We have to go now before it's too late.
Hey, we better back up. We don't have enough road to make it 88 miles per hour.
Pit Vipers.
We don't need roads.
Nova's like, what are we doing?
And the hardest shot in the whole thing to do visual effects wise.
Yeah, I was surprised you're able to pull that off as well as you did. Down. All right. Taking your digital marketing to the future. Whoa. Run this bad boy back. Oh, wait, I forgot about the instant.
Oh, yeah,
How could I forget about this?
Got a Marvel post-credit scene right here.
Legit DeLorean Back to the Future replica. So this is 2 different shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey. Filmed and edited by Brenda
I know that guy.
Nova.
Great cast.
All right. Let's jump this thing back and jump into it. So to give some premise to this, we had the Cybertruck, and then it was a Friday.
Yeah.
And did I just randomly? How did we come up with this? I don't even remember. Were we watching something?
We were literally just talking about. I feel like we were in your office just talking about different stuff we could do with the Cybertruck, like right after you got it. And I don't remember which one of us it was, but one of us mentioned that the stainless steel of the Cybertruck is kind of reminiscent of the DeLorean.
Yeah.
And I feel like we just from that idea basically we were just kind of like, you know what, it would be a great idea just to recreate that scene essentially.
So it was a Friday. Brendan was going out of town. The Cybertruck was getting wrapped on Monday. It had to be dropped off. And it was not even the morning on Friday.
Right.
It was like 11 or 12 or something.
Yeah.
So we were like, had this idea and we're just like, fuck, we're not gonna be able to do this.
Like last minute.
And then we were just like, screw it, let's just go get everything we can. So we shot over to White Oaks Mall with the Cybertruck, stainless steel, and just started getting shots of it driving.
Yeah.
And that's all we got.
Yeah.
There was no.
Well,
we
had that, and then we also took it out on one of the back roads out here outside of town and did a couple drone shots as well.
Oh yeah.
and
But that was with not
those were
even
more-
knowing we were gonna do this.
Those were more just general shots that we were trying to get of it. But yeah, I mean, all that stuff was basically all we had for footage of it before it was.
So nothing
wrapped.
seen in that video with us and the Cybertruck, like people in the Cybertruck, until the end when it's wrapped.
Yeah.
Was filmed together.
Yeah.
The Cybertruck was filmed separately. Even the Cybertruck driving, which we'll get to, you cut out from a different scene and put it in the lot.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre. And then we green screened us, Asa and I, separately. So that anything before the wrap, as we watch this, was filmed completely separately, which is pretty amazing. And then what else is good to put context to? Props. This was like the main prop we got here. Can you see that in the camera? We found this on eBay. This thing's legit. Turns on, lights up, does the count, everything. Even makes sound effects. That was the only thing we really spent money on, though. I bought a cheap paint suit for the Devo suit.
And then wasn't it the Marty costume was your friend's, wasn't it?
Yeah. Shout out Matt Humphrey. Had the Marty costume, which was
looking too.
Squeezed Asa into from Halloween, and then
a lot of the other stuff was just
the camera we already had, the old camera in our camera collection. Shout out to the pawn shop down here. In the Soccer World Shopping Center,
Capital City Pawn.
Capital City Pawn. They gave us that old radio. I think that's it for props, though. Everything else we just kind of had or came up with.
Well, the one big prop at the end there that we got to play around with a little bit too.
Oh, yes, the DeLorean, the actual replica DeLorean.
We just had that thing lying around.
Yeah, that thing was crazy. So, well, we'll get to that in that scene. All right, let's play kind of the first part. Anything else you want to point out before we jump into this?
No, I was trying to think of stuff to like write down before. It's the only thing I looked up was on ClickUp. There was 92 hours.
Is that what it worked
altogether.
out to? And that doesn't include any of my time.
I think that's mainly
Asa.
just like editing and some of the. I think that's also the shooting. But yeah, that's almost 100 hours of just in general working on this video. And
does that include like when you worked on it at home?
I think so. Yeah, I think I also had that stuff tracked on ClickUp, I believe. But yeah, I mean, I worked even a couple days on like Sunday and Saturday. I think right before I was going on another trip. When
right, so that was the other thing. We're trying to get this done before we went on another trip. Yeah, because otherwise, one thing I didn't say when we were doing that, when you were leaving, otherwise we would have filmed with the stainless steel Cybertruck over the weekend.
Yeah.
But again, Brendan was leaving. So we just did everything we could within like a couple hours on Friday. So yeah, all right, yeah, that's crazy. A lot of time. So people ask all the time, like, "Oh, I want to do a video, something like that," and it's like, all right, there's a lot of time spent on this.
You got to be able to put that much time into it.
Yeah. So just to give people some idea of how much time something like this takes. Now there was a lot of green screen work, which sometimes can be saved and reduced time. But all right, let's play the first couple scenes here.
Girl. Who's Andrew?
Nova was a good prop. All right, so well, we'll get past this part.
Yeah, and this was all just us watching the scene basically as we were filming it, and from the actual movie, trying to match up shots as best as possible.
Yeah. We had the movie on our phones.
Yeah.
So go ahead and pause it, Ryan. So we had got the vehicle. We had taken the vehicle to our client's Recontext. Shout out to Recontext. They did the ceramic coating on it and keep that thing looking clean. We had taken it over there, though, to get some shots. And in the movie, if you recall, he has the truck that he pulls it out of. So we were trying to figure out what to do, and Brendan found this shot from Recontext.
Yeah.
And what I'll do.
So, I mean, yeah, and I guess that also kind of shows some of the shots that we used of it before it was wrapped weren't even the ones that we got that one day. It was just random other ones that we had got for other stuff.
Lucked out a little bit.
But yeah, this was literally, I was like trying to figure out how I was going to do this shot. And I think originally I was just going to.
You were going to try to cut it out, you said,
try
the garage.
Try to make it, some other way. But yeah, I found this and it was almost perfect for that. And obviously, a random garage door in the middle of a parking lot doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it works for the video. But yeah, it was like almost perfect. And I think the only thing I added to this shot was the smoke that you see, coming in front of it, because that's in the original movie. There's a bunch of smoke and all that stuff, and obviously we didn't have that in the actual shot. But yeah, I mean it was pretty crazy that we ended up having a shot that worked almost perfect.
Garage door opening. Yeah. So for the smoke, did you just layer that in?
Yeah, that was just like stock clips basically that we that I found on the different motion array and websites that we use. And yeah, I mean it looks pretty good, honestly. I think I cut. There's like a smoke that's just inside the garage, and then there's like another one that's going across the whole video, basically.
Couple
but just to
layers,
make it a little bit more layered.
Yeah. So Brandon, as it says, he filmed and edited everything. Asa and I acted in it, and then him and I kind of worked together just on the scenes and the input of how everything was going. But yeah, no, I'm glad we freaking got that shot. It works. Yeah. That is funny though. I didn't even think about the random garage thing, so that's funny to mention that. And that was also JCPenney. So that was
that stuff was shot after.
Yeah. Green screen. So let's do the next scene here. Or I'm sorry, not green screen. That was filmed later.
And then this.
This was. So go ahead, pause this. Run that back one more time. Back it up, and just have it come around that car. or the truck. So this was a shot that we had, but then all that door, me getting out of it, the window. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
So this is green screen, first of all. Me pretending like I'm getting
Right.
out. So then what'd you do?
So I think if I remember right, that was even another shot that I don't remember if it was at Recontext or if it was.
I think that one was an Ace.
Yeah,
Ace
yeah.
Sign.
You took it over to Ace Sign.
Shout out
Company.
Ace Sign. Did the wrap on the truck
Yeah, so that was like literally right before the wrap got done. But there was another
in
shot
their garage
right,
bed.
and another shot that I found that worked almost perfectly because in the movie there's that like it does that same move essentially around the DeLorean. And I found this perfect shot that was, basically the same move that I think you had gotten while you were there at Ace, just moving around the Cybertruck. And I pretty much just like rotoscoped or cut the truck out of the shot. And I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but it works pretty well for this. And then the rest of it was just, a picture basically of the parking lot that I think I got while we were there.
What about the door though?
That was that was
door,
probably the hardest thing.
So again, I never got out of a vehicle. I was
Right,
sitting
yeah.
on. Was I even sitting on a chair?
I think you were, yeah.
In front of the green screen,
Yeah.
and just pretended like I got out of something. And we thought at first we thought we were just gonna have me come on screen,
Right.
and then Brendan figured out doing this.
Yeah,
and basically would you take a picture of the door?
Yeah, I think I literally. I'm not even sure if it was of your Cybertruck before. I think it was just a random picture I found, basically from the right angle, like straight on of the door, and then again just cut it out, and then kind of animated it to have look like it was opening like
distorted it
that.
as it opened.
And this ended up being. I mean, this is even like a 3D camera move as well, because the original green screen shot of you guys was just from a static just from a tripod, but I added that movement a little bit, and you can see at the beginning of it like the camera kind of comes towards
I didn't
you
even
guys.
think about that.
And that was probably the hardest part of the whole shot, was trying to get all that to look like an actual camera move basically.
Yeah. Run that back one more time. I didn't even think about that now that you say that. Just run this little clip back a little bit. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you
Just
made
a
it
little
look like
bit.
he was coming
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
And then I just adding a bunch of smoke and stuff in front of it to kind of hide some of the stuff that isn't as perfect about it, but
Yeah.
it turned out pretty well though.
And this was funny, so I don't know, people might not appreciate this, but if you play it real quick, we were trying to mimic, like right there in the movie, Michael J. Fox does a spin,
right.
and we were really trying to copy some of the mannerisms, yeah, and the way that he actually did stuff and get it very similar. So then here again, this is all green screen. We thought we were going back to White Oaks Mall, so I say White Oaks Mall in the thing. But it's funny because in the movie they're at a mall, but JCPenney
Right.
is at the mall, so
Yeah,
that's
so
kind of why we
kinda
did it
worked
like
better.
that.
Yeah.
Devo suit was just a paint suit, and then to make it look like there was a pocket, I just cut a hole.
Yeah.
And then the microphone, we just decided to leave the wire out because it kind of looked crazy
Yeah,
and like something similar. So there are a lot of little things, random thoughts that went into this that you might not notice.
And some of it was talked about, ahead of time, but then honestly, a lot of it was just when we were out there, kind of in the moment thinking of stuff. And
So just here, you have a shot of JCPenney that's separate.
yeah.
A shot of the Cybertruck that's separate, and then me green screen that's all separate.
Yep.
So just to give some context
Yeah.
to people of how many different things are going on here. Three different shots merged together. All right, let's run it.
October 26, 2024, 118. This is temporal experiment.
Right here, same thing. Oh, copy it if you go watch the movie. Asa did a great job copying his mannerisms and stuff.
Come on. Sit. Sit. All right, now have a good trip. Watch your head.
Added a little sound effect. They should just do that.
Just program it into the Cybertruck.
So right here again, this is green screen. Walking away from that, we did film it after it was wrapped. putting Nova in,
Yeah.
and had to be very careful, which was a challenge to not get
Right.
the wrap in the shot.
If you look at the shot of Nova, and I think in the original shot, it might have been a little bit wider, and I might have even got some of the wrap in there, but I think I had to crop in a little bit on it.
Jump it back just a little bit more real quick. Yeah, so right there.
Just showing the interior.
And you're through the
Through
other
the
door.
Yeah. And then that was all green screen.
Watch this.
Green screen. All right, so this is what we got when we had the first idea.
Yeah.
That's the only stuff that's basically not green screen until it's wrapped. You did a great job on the focus pull on that.
You're gonna see some serious shit.
Man, so green screen again. It's all green screen. So Dad, go ahead, pause it real quick on that the Burnout. So what's going on there? Break that down.
That I don't know what you're talking about there. That was just you actually burning out the Cybertruck. No, yeah, that was kind of a fun shot. I think originally we were just gonna try to not show that, but I decided it'd be kind of a cool moment to have in there. But I think again that was just a lot of this is just basically cutting out stuff from the original shot.
And if you look, you can maybe kind of see just barely.
Yeah, like that. I think that was I can't remember if I either cut out the wheel from the original shot and then just like again animated it, to make it look like it was spinning really fast, or it might have even been a completely different picture of like a Cybertruck wheel that I found, just so I would be able to put it. Match it up however I needed to.
What about the smoke?
That was again.
So run that back real quick, Ryan. Back that up a little bit and just run that. Yeah, play that piece just a little bit. So yeah, how are you making it circle around the wheel? Did you find that on another video? Peel out
again. I think that was just a couple different stock clips I found that were kind of doing that motion a little bit. But I think
of somebody peeling out.
No, I don't even think they were specifically for that. I think it was just clips of like smoke just kind of moving in that direction.
Really? Wow.
And I think if I remember, I put one behind the wheel and then like one in front of it. And a couple other like just around it a little bit. I think I maybe even distorted because you could do like.
I was gonna say at one point it looks like it wraps around the wheel like it would in a Burnout.
There's I think there's an effect in After Effects where you can basically like warp footage to like do kind of any like that motion. I think I might have put that on there as well to kind of look like it was going around the tire a little bit. But yeah, other than that, it was just again most of this stuff is just stock clips that we were
Mixing
able to find
and
figuring out the right way to incorporate it into the footage.
Yeah, and then obviously the motor was funny. I mentioned it earlier, but we were sharing this in some groups. We shared it in a Tesla group, and one guy was like, "Whole video is legit except the motor sound during the peel out," and I just responded, "Fair."
Yeah. Definitely an accurate sound for an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
Again, Asa just totally
perfectly
nailing
mimicking.
It,
I gotta say, like, so all this. So hold on. All right, back that up one more time. That scene where it's running right there. Yeah. So this is in the parking lot. This is actually filmed.
Mm-hmm. And then as soon as
that's in there, and then this.
So those were both. And if you're looking at them carefully, I mean, you can kind of tell they're different, shots, but all together it works pretty well. But I think these were two shots.
This was at Ace.
Yeah,
it was me driving through Ace's parking lot. We just randomly got a drone shot. Yeah, I don't even know where we got that shot.
These were both drone shots, I believe, of just different angles that we had got that day, and again just. Basically cut out the Cybertruck, and then put them. I think the background shots were. I think that first one was a shot I had with the drone, and then this one was like I think it was a couple different pictures that I kind of put together. Like if you look in the background, I think that's just a picture of like some of the cars that were in the parking lot, but then I also had like a top-down picture of the parking lot itself that I took with
so
the
you
drone.
just warped it and merged
And
it?
well, I think again, like for that other shot where it went around the Cybertruck, I think I had to do this pretty much like I just had to make a like 3D almost, and had like.
Looks good.
Yeah, had basically like the floor, made a 3D plane that was that parking, the parking lot image under the Cybertruck, and then had like an image in the background to kind of, of all the cars in the parking lot, and then just cut out the Cybertruck. And
I gotta tell you, man, for what little we had to work with, I was crazy surprised at what you were able to put together, because most people don't realize it, like, without being part of the whole process, but like everything you just explained, like without you even telling me, when I watched it, I was like, shit, he had to, you know what I mean? I knew what you had to do, and it was just like, Jesus
and I mean, I'll be honest, when we started it, I was like, I thought we're definitely going to have to compromise on a lot of stuff. And
I did
out,
too. I was very surprised at how much you were able to work out.
I was happy with how much we were able to actually, be pretty true to the original scene and everything.
Yeah, and it's like, again, these are so many clips that were just random, like right there. And here's what I love about videos is if you're in movies, if you're telling a story and you're putting it together, like, and this is what we talked about when we were trying to put it together. We're like, this is going to be so fucking cheesy. And it's like, but it doesn't matter, because that's great. Cheesy's hilarious. And it's cool, though, because when you're into it, you don't notice these little imperfections. You're just enjoying it. Like, literally everything we're talking about, people are out there going to be like, what the fuck? I didn't see any of that. You know what I mean? Because it's just funny with videos, unless you're a video person or super into it. Like, you just don't know. It's like right here. Look, I could see the reflection of the Ace Sign Company sign on top of the truck, but nobody knows what's going on there. Kind of could be the yellow from the light. You know what I mean?
And not many people are like me or you, where they'll like sit and watch a video, frame by frame or something like that for this type of stuff. But.
And did you take me out of the truck?
I think I had to flip the shot, so I think you're just on the other side of the truck.
Oh, it's from the passenger. You flipped it.
Because I think it was going the other direction originally, and I just had to flip the shot to make it look like it was going that way. So it kind of worked out, honestly. That's a good thing. Yeah, to think about. I think there might be a couple other shots though where I did have to. Like, I think
that was one thing I didn't think about until just now. I was like, oh shit, I'm not even in the seat, which is accurate because I'm not supposed to be in the seat.
Right.
Yeah, and I flipped the shot. Great. Oh, yeah, because the windshield wiper's on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Yep, I didn't even catch that. Nice. Fire. Go ahead, pause it, right? So, again, all green screen. And you know what? Got to give you props because you brought your light, and you like when you were like, you were like, hey, let's because we didn't film it with the light at first,
right? Yeah,
and you're like, hey, wait, let's use this light that does the fire effect.
Yeah, and
we were in such a bright studio. I was like, this ain't even gonna do shit. All right, let's do it. But I gotta give you props on that, man. It added to the it added to the faces if you pay attention in the video. Like our faces kind of are flickering like it's fire.
Yeah, and that's just an LED panel that like you said, you can change the color and everything on it, but it also will like flicker and has all these different effects that'll do to just make it look like fire essentially.
So the fire, jump back, Ryan, to it driving. So there, go ahead, pause it on that when it's when it's the side and you have us and the truck. All right, so it's driving at us. We actually have the shot of the truck driving through the slot. That was one we were able to get on that Friday. We're green screened, standing there. Obviously, you had to do the effects of cutting the truck out, the explosion, the fire. Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, this was like the shot, from the movie that I feel like most people probably remember. And this was the hardest one. And again, it was kind of just me watching that scene frame by frame and kind of seeing how they did it in the movie. And it pretty much like looked almost exactly like this, and you can kind of tell in the movie. I think they probably shot them on a like a blue screen or green screen or something like that.
Oh yeah, and it was funny because I hadn't watched it in a while. We played it, and I was like, shit, our fire is probably gonna look better than theirs. Theirs is super cheesy.
I mean, for a movie from 1985, it still looks incredible.
That's what I
but
mean.
Yeah, but yeah, this was again just I think the explosion was a stock clip again that I found, and it almost, I think it's in reverse in the movie. So I mean, that's what it looks like. At least it like kind of blows up and then it like goes back in on itself.
Yeah.
And so I just found an explosion stock clip. Essentially, I think I added some like glow and stuff like that to it as well. But then had it, it just kind of does the main explosion and then it like reverses in on itself. And then I think the fire was all in After Effects because I couldn't really find anything stock that worked for like that trail effect.
Oh, you made the fire in
yeah,
After
and
Effects.
it was I think if I remember right, there's an effect in After Effects that's like turbulent noise or something like that, and it's used for all kinds of different stuff. But it essentially just you can kind of mess around with the settings and just make stuff basically make something that looks like fire, but all it is like kind of an animated layer of like just noise and stuff moving in different ways. Sure, that's not the best way to describe how it works, but
a little more technical, but trying to simplify it. No, that's cool.
Yeah,
I think
and then just
really good.
Just a lot of glow and stuff that. And
when you do that, does it put the blending effect like on it and stuff?
Yeah, I mean to some extent. I think also you have to like kind of set blending modes and stuff like that to make it fit in better, because I think at first the fire kind of almost looked like it wasn't like that it was fake and wasn't actually in the shot.
Yeah.
But then like you basically can put like a screen blending mode on it or something like that makes it a little more see-through, and just kind of makes it feel like it's actually in the shot more. And then I think I also, made it look like it's going in between you and Ace's legs.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Especially from the jump to the view. I don't remember if it's right after this or right before it was behind us. Oh, yeah, so right here. Keep that. Yeah, there. Yeah, you got the feet. Yeah. We filmed the feet. Again, we were just trying to mimic everything. So the little things, like we filmed our feet.
Yeah.
And you did the fire through there, and then we filmed from behind. And did the fire through there. And dude, honestly, it probably does look a little better than in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I love it though.
I think in the movie, you can see Doc is like kind of partially standing like on the fire because it was just again on a green screen. But
that's what's fun, because it's like these movies were amazing back then, and I think even myself with like videos nowadays, you think about making a movie, and,
sure,
it's like. God, that'd be so hard. How do we do these crazy effects? But it's like, how do you do them without having to be crazy, And like, it would have been hilarious to freaking light some gasoline.
Yeah, just did it for real.
We probably would have caught on fire or something.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean? If we actually had a space to do it, that would have been kind of fun to just see how it did it.
And like on the movies, you got to think too, they have, crews of, hundreds of people, sometimes, and usually we'll have somebody specifically there for like pyrotechnics and stuff like that.
In the movie, why do you think it would just be too dangerous? I guess fucking gasoline burning through your crotch.
I mean, honestly, I think
just a little bit. I feel like it'd be all right.
I think in the movie, if you can kind of tell that the close-up shot of their legs, I think it looks like it's kind of just like mannequins, basically, like with the costumes on.
But behind is obviously green screen,
right? Yeah.
I guess I'd have to look at it again if the fire was that intense, because you would think that they would have been able to do that without green screen, like somewhat easy.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, it could have just been
last minute thought.
Yeah, for safety.
Like, shit, we forgot to get that scene.
Sure.
I wonder if that's what it was. Maybe they didn't film that scene.
Maybe.
And then they're like, yeah, I don't know.
Like all the insert shots, they just came back and get
fixed later. Kind of like we did. We just had to come up with some shit.
Yeah, and I think it's also cool to point out. I don't know exactly how many shots it is, but this whole part is like maybe 10 seconds of these shots, but there's so many of them and they're so quick that it's it's crazy to think how
all the angles.
Sure, yeah, like how you have to have a different setup for almost every single angle and a different way of doing it. So
run that back by real quick, Ryan, just from the driving to the. Just want to see them all again together. So now that people have heard us kind of talk about it, yeah, go ahead right there. That's good. Added that. Shot, angle. There it is. So pause real quick. The one thing I don't like right there is that I knew it was going to do this in the moment, and I should have fucking taken the time to fix this with you guys, is I couldn't yell to like sound like a real yell because I knew the mic was going to get terrible, and I should have pulled the mic off or lowered it and had you refilm it and actually
or even just redubbed it later.
Yeah, because you can hear like I'm keeping my voice down, like but acting like I'm yelling. So that was one thing I hated. And I got to give Asa props again because I feel like I did a decent job for Doc.
I think you did great, yeah.
But I feel like his role was more complicated moves and acting to have to mimic. Like the spin and the watch and like all these different things. And where me, I just had to be a little bit crazy and just say some lines. You know what I mean? There was just so many little things that we had him do that I think made it great. With all the little just copies. And again, right here, he's got the light on his face, flickering. It looks like it. Go ahead, hit it, Ryan. Focusing's great. And again, this is all green screen. All green screen right here.
And again, for this one, you can kind of see a little bit of like movement going on, but all of this, we just shot all this on a tripod, and then I kind of added in some of that movement a little bit just to make it seem more like it was a real shot.
And you had to move the background with it? You had to move, So that's our go ahead, pause it real quick. That was our little clip to turn it into a video for us. So we talk about, taking businesses into the future on this. And I mean, that's what we do, digital marketing. So we were trying to figure out how to put a spin on this to remake it. But do it for us. And so we just kind of flipped the script a little bit there.
And I think most of the rest of the video is just essentially the script, from the movie. With a couple things changed
like
here and
literally
there.
the only thing.
Yeah, then that was the main part that we wrote basically.
Again, still green screen. Go ahead, let's hit it. So that shot we were able to get at the mall before they kicked us out.
Yeah, basically.
That was the last shot. He was walking over there as we filmed that shot.
Yeah, I was glad you were there because I'm like I didn't know like what to say and like they were pretty nice about it, but still it was just kind of we're just out there.
I can't film in this lot.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, I'm trying to get some attention to your dying mall over here. Shout out White Oaks Mall though. We got a couple shots in there, and we understand where they're coming from. There's probably some liability there or something if something happens. So, and just to be clear, we were not driving fast through this. That was one thing I do want to point out because, speeding it up makes it look like we're freaking going 100 miles an hour through the lot. It was all just sped up stuff. So from now on,
I think
before the end scene, I don't think it's any more green screen,
I think so, yeah, for the most part.
So now we got the wrap done. The wrap, again, was done by Ace Sign Company. I designed it here at Oopbox, and they made it perfect, man. When you look at the wrap in this, even from this front edge on the left and right, it wraps around the edge perfect.
It's like seamless.
And I talked to them about all this stuff if we were going to be able to make it happen. And they basically said, like, I thought about it when I was designing it, but even still, it's really hard to do.
Sure.
To like, because it's like, you're designing on a flat, straight at it.
Right.
And then you have to think about the hood, and you don't know exactly where it's coming over.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? But the idea was that the truck used to be all orange with all the words on it, and everything's ripping off of it to reveal when you look at the side of it, the logo on the side.
I love it. It's awesome.
And then some people might not notice it either, but unless you get close to it, there's ghosting of all of our services in the orange. And we're kind of turning this into a double creative convo.
Talking about the wrap too.
Just as I see it in the video, because I didn't want to make it too, what do I want to say, advertising? Like I didn't want to just have our services listed really big.
Yeah.
Probably, normally the smart thing to do is people see it right away, but since it was a Cybertruck, wanted it to be like out and just wanted to put some little extra thought into it. But
yeah.
All right, we'll get back to the video here, but just some things to keep in mind.
Also, Andrew, you didn't do another video. You never showed any of the wrap until the
Oh yeah, and I made a separate video about that. But we were waiting, so I kind of wanted to do a little experiment, and I didn't post any pictures or any video after it was wrapped for like 3 or 4 months, I think.
Yeah.
Until we finally got a reveal video done, and part of that was I wanted to test if people had already seen it, and before we showed it, and it was crazy. Like I've told several people this, but I told the story in the video I made. I went into UPS and I'm like, handed them the file or the label, and the lady's like looking at it. She sees Zubbox Music. She's like, "You guys are the ones with the Cybertruck, right?" You know what I mean? And that happens all the time. I was getting on the Ferris wheel at freaking. Did you hear her saying it to me? I was getting on the Ferris wheel at Shields. I saw Ryan there the other day. I had my kids, and the lady buckling us in. She's like, because I had my Upox sweatshirt on. She's like, "Who at your guys' office has the Cybertruck?" I was like, "Oh, that's ours.
That's me."
And I was like, "That's the Upox Cybertruck." And she's like, "I see that thing all the time."
I think I even told you somebody at my apartment building like saw me wearing a Upox shirt one time and was just like, "Hey, you guys have the Cybertruck, right?" And I'm like, we sure do.
Yeah. So I wanted to see how many people actually saw it and demonstrate how some people think it's ugly. Some people love it. Whether you love it or hate it, it draws attention and you look at it. So in life, in your business, sometimes there's random marketing opportunities to look for that's not even digital.
Right.
Like we're a digital marketing company. That's not even digital. But we're open to whatever's going to get the most attention, and we want to give that advice to clients as well. So just a few things to point out with that. You were probably so relieved once you got to this point. We're like, God damn it, I'm gonna do any more green screen work. And then we tacked on the end screen. You're like, fuck. All right, let's go ahead and pause it real quick. So this was kind of funny. We're trying to mimic the smoke coming off but this wasn't even green screen.
Right. Wasn't it just a fog machine that you had in the back of the Cybertruck, basically?
So one thing cool is the back of the Cybertruck's got plugs. So we just plugged in a fog machine. Now we were trying to get it to build up more. So we didn't get a ton of smoke, but this was all this again, not green screen.
I mean, we were fighting the wind and
so windy that day.
So
it's hilarious in this JCPenney parking lot. Like it just looks like people do donuts there all night long, like every night. All over the lot. When we were driving around there, we didn't talk about that, but they're just everywhere. Good. Look at that focus pull.
What? Is it ruined? No, it's perfect. Everyone's going to know who we are, and that they can get a whole team of digital.
See where it wraps around the edge right there? Jump back real quick. Pause it.
Perfect. Everyone's going to know who we are.
Keep going. Pause it right there. So see on the edge where it goes to the side,
right?
Lining that up both digitally, and then they took it on themselves. Also, was very hard. The other spot when we flip around, I think there's a back angle. I'll show you on the back angle too, because coming around the back, all the words are slanted like this. So there's a pattern, but getting that pattern to continue onto the side so the word lines match up.
Gotcha.
It was like, I asked them. I was like, I tried to do very cautiously line this up in the design. Do you think we're going to be able to get it lined up? And then they're like, probably not.
I'm trying this.
But they did it.
That's crazy.
And then pause it right there. So this was an idea I had. It's I wanted to emboss. I'd seen online some people had been embossing the foundation series on the side. And I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't want to put the word, I didn't want it to be obvious, but I liked that as a foundation. And then what Ace did is they took reflective vinyl, which is very thick, and they put it under the wrap.
Oh, okay.
So right there is a piece of cutout reflective vinyl in the Ootbox box, and that's right on the hood. It's like a hood ornament.
Yeah, that's cool.
And again, did it knocked out of the park. You can see some of the ghosting in the orange up there if people haven't paid attention to that.
I wonder if in some ways it's almost easier for a car like this though, because I'm sure on other cars they usually
Much
have
easier.
to wrap like around curved surfaces and stuff like that. But the Cybertruck, it's all fairly
a lot
flat.
of people are wrapping Cybertrucks themselves.
Yeah,
They have kits you buy, and I honestly, like, if I wasn't worried about, like, I wanted it to be really nice. Like, I wanted the edges wrapped. Like, they did a great job. They took off the tailgate and wrapped it in the edges of the tailgate. It wraps under the doors. It wraps like you see other wraps, and you'll see at the end of the panel the vinyl just kind of ends.
Yeah,
and it just follows the line. You can still see the edge of the silver.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the embossed logo's cool. One other thing on that light bar on the front. You don't have to jump back, Ryan. It's fine. I saw online someone did put red vinyl on it.
Oh, nice.
So when we were playing with it, we put some orange vinyl on to see what it looked like. It's kind of cool. I might do it sometime.
Nice.
A single employee.
Nova,
You did it, you little devil.
she did it.
He said, you know what this
All right, so pause real quick. So we were just, I don't even know if this makes sense the way that we did this, but we were just thinking of a funny way to show the old forms of advertising that just are not cost effective.
Yeah.
No offense, but when you look at cost per impression, digital's where it's at. So we got an old radio, mini billboard, and newspaper. And those are just funny little props we were able to work in there.
And again, the radio was, didn't you just went to the pawn shop one day and asked them if they had any old radios?
Yeah, when we were trying to think of a radio, went down to Capital City Pawn, right? And right here in Soccer World. And I was like, man, you guys got any old radios? Mm-hmm. And they were like, he's like, I think I got something. Sorry, someone's ringing the bell. Let me see who this is. It's a male person. I just let her in. She's good. I was like, you guys got any old radios? And I was thinking of not that old.
Yeah.
But they had that one. Mm-hmm. And actually, it wasn't that one, was it?
Oh, I think they gave us a different one at first.
Yeah, he gave me a different one. And was like,
and then we had to.
I have this on eBay, so be careful with it.
Yeah.
And then we didn't end up getting the film with it, and I had to take it back to him because he was selling it. But then he just gave us that one, which was awesome.
I think that was the day that we went to White Oaks to try to film stuff, and then got kicked out. So we had to shoot all this stuff another day.
Oh yeah, we had to wait. Yeah. That's right.
So we had to come back and ask them for a different one, and they just gave us that one pretty much.
So we have that radio now with our collection of old cameras.
Yeah.
Go now before it's too late.
Hey, we better back up. We don't have enough road to make it 88 miles.
So we're using real quick. So this whole thing was filmed on a Sony A7S III,
Mm-hmm.
and then a couple different drones. I think we used the Mavic for one and the Mini for a couple shots. There was a couple shots. Like I think the recon text would have been the GH5.
That was the GH5, yeah.
And then this is the GoPro, which worked out well.
Yeah, which it honestly looks great.
Go ahead, Ryan, hit it.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
So these glasses are ridiculous. Real quick, pause that. Go back. So these a Father's Day gift. My family basically just told me to go to Shields.
Yeah.
They're like, you pick something out. And the truck wasn't wrapped yet, but it was getting wrapped, and I knew it was going to look crazy. So I saw these pit vipers, and I always thought these were kind of douchey, but I was like, these match the truck so well because they're just ridiculous,
Yeah.
like over the top. And the colors look like literally like the truck, like orange is getting ripped off the sides of them.
It almost looks like the like balls, like the little orange balls that we have on a lot of
Someone
stuff.
asked me if I had them made.
Yeah, they're like,
did
custom.
you have those custom made?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I just lucked out. I mean, and then I didn't even know this when I was buying them, but they flip up.
Yeah.
So this scene's hilarious because if you think about it in the movie, Doc has ridiculous glasses.
Yeah, and he just like.
And he slides down these giant, crazy-ass silver pieces of paper, it looks like. Like, I wonder what that was actually made out of.
Yeah.
Like, I bet he can't see in
Probably,
those.
yeah, probably can't even see. That's funny.
So we wanted to mix this in here, even though this was technically, like, in a different place in the movie. All right, so tell me, when you were filming this, I was like, I don't know how the fuck he's going to do that. Like, you were talking about, like, I want to use the drone, I want it to come down, and I was just like, are you sure that's how you need to film it? And you're like, yeah, like, all right, I'm just going to trust you. You're doing the editing.
This was one of the things where, I mean, I definitely thought about it ahead of time, but at the same time, I was not sure if it was going to work how we wanted it to.
Even after, I think I was like, are you sure why don't you just get it straight on also?
But yeah, I mean, basically this was just two different shots. One of the Cybertruck just on the ground. And then I just had
you cut it out.
Yeah, I just had you. I basically with the drone moved down, like behind the Cybertruck, and then had you just drive away from the drone and then turn around and come back towards the drone. And and then you just drove under the drone basically.
In your rough edit, you showed this.
Yeah, and I think we should definitely play that here in a second just to show how it all looked before all the effects. But that was the first shot. And then the second shot was just the parking lot, essentially. Again, just kind of doing that, mimicking the move a little bit.
Without
with
the truck there.
Yeah, just as like a clean background plate. And then, yeah, like you said, just basically had to go through this whole, I think it's like a 15-second long shot and cut out the Cybertruck as it was driving away. And then, put it onto that background shot. And I think, I mean, it sounds pretty simple, but I think there was a couple other things. I think I also kind of added a little bit of an animation to the truck itself to make it look like it was going even further away from
Shrunk
camera.
it or something a little
and then
bit.
Also kind of made it like, do a little bit of
Tilt,
this movement as well.
No, I was very surprised that you were able to do this as well as you did.
Yeah, it turned out way better than I thought it was going to.
It's funny though because like it's very well done, but I love that there's still a level of cheesiness to it. You know what I mean? I just like that. I think it's just adds a little bit of humor to it.
We're not pretending like it's a professional like visual effects shot from a big budget movie or anything like that.
Oh man, you didn't blur the plate. Everybody's gonna know where to find me now.
Yeah,
that's so funny. Everybody always blurs the plates and pictures and shit. Go. Yeah, like so the drone's coming down.
Sure.
Add a little fire there.
Add in the smoke
and the shadow.
Fire. Yeah,
got a little shadow added in there. How did you make it do the tilt thing off to the side?
Again, I think it was just. I mean, it was you did that move going around, but then I just kind of added a little bit.
Oh, when I was turning back.
A little bit of animation to make it look like it was doing that more.
Freaking cars kept driving in here too when I was trying to do this. Little spark there, and it's awesome.
And then this title at the end was, I think I found online where you could literally pretty much just type in something and it would make it like the Back to the Future font. And it worked pretty much and I just added like the glow and stuff to it as well.
Yeah, that was funny. Brendan graphic designing up in here, baby. Okay, so we wanted to do. I was at a car show. What was at the Cherry Hills? What? Abe Lincoln car show, yeah. And they had a replica DeLorean there, and I was like, I called you because I was going to tell you to come out and check it out because I just thought you'd like it. But then it was in my head, and so after that car show, I talked to the gentleman that runs it, and he put me in contact with the guy that has the replica, and he was over in was it Mattoon?
I think it.
What?
Monticello.
So called this gentleman, and what was his name again? I have it in here. I gotta give him a shout out.
I feel bad. Yeah. It was a B&R screen printing. I think is the business that.
Back to the Future. Al.
Yeah.
Al. So Al had this thing, and man, he was super. It was kind of weird at first when I was texting him, like trying to get it set up. But then he gave us the go ahead. We went over there Saturday.
I think it was Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah. So Brendan and I rolled over there, and that family was so nice.
Yeah, nicest people I've ever met.
Oh my God. Yeah, they were ready to do whatever we wanted to do, and it was helpful. We weren't like doing much. Like literally, we're right next to his shop, and just tried to make it as easy as possible on them. But man, they made it. They were just so nice.
And I think we were there for probably like an hour beforehand, just looking at
talking
it and
shit,
talking about
yeah.
the movie.
They were
and
looking
everything.
at the Cybertruck. We were looking at that. They were talking about getting it made.
Yeah.
He was like one of the first people. What was it? He gave us a number. I can't remember. Wasn't it like this company that builds them? He was like the first one or second one or something.
I think he said he say so. I think he said he found like the DeLorean was like a barn find or something like that.
Is that what he said?
I can't remember. He said
that
he had
thing,
it for a number of years.
It's got like no miles. What did it?
Yeah.
I can't even remember how many it was. I asked him. It was so low.
Yeah. But yeah, he said he'd had it for a number of years as just a normal DeLorean, and then I think he said like in 2011 or something like that, he said he sent it to a guy to get it outfitted like the one from the movie and everything. And he said, didn't he say the guy worked for NASA or something like that he sent it to?
Did. Yeah, he had some.
Yeah, he just basically like
doing it.
Yeah,
but he has added to this thing and had stuff done to it all along the way. It's signed by every major cast member.
Yeah.
Like right behind the driver's seat, it's signed by everybody, and they had like been on a mission to get all these signatures. They were telling the story of like each signature of how they were able to get it. And I was just it was super cool, super nice people.
And he said that they've taken it out to just all kinds of events and stuff like that, and just like for people to look at and see how cool it is and all the details.
No, we're super appreciative for this because we had this idea randomly of an end scene just to really tie it back to the movie, and it worked out awesome. So this is one shot.
Yeah.
And then jump back real quick. This is a separate shot. These shots were not taken together. Obviously, I'm in both cars, so you might notice that. But so that's one shot, and then Brendan cut out this other one of that, and that didn't even happen. It didn't pull up behind.
Yeah.
We did not think about that.
That was you.
So back up and try to pause it right when it's on the inside and you see the car pulling up, Ryan. Right there. So that was not there.
That was just you out in the parking lot, wasn't it? Doing that shot because we realized we didn't get that shot when we were there.
I think you just got an angle of it. You did it. I don't even know what you did. I don't remember what you ended up using.
I mean the shot of you in the car. Wasn't that you?
That was at the stop sign. That was at the stop sign with the GoPro.
Okay.
But then the shot in the DeLorean, which we'll get to.
Yeah, I had to add the car.
But this was a GoPro shot that we got because we just wanted to straight on see my facial reaction type thing.
Yeah.
And we didn't think about the window over there, so there was no DeLorean pulling up.
Yeah.
So Brendan cut that out.
Yeah, I think it was just another shot that we had.
Was I actually driving up in the DeLorean? I don't remember.
I think it was literally just a picture,
and I
just made it look like it was driving, basically.
Again, little things, man. So then pause it here. So you cut out. We had the truck back there, but I was not in the truck.
Right.
And the thing we ran into was the truck when you park, it automatically lowers.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize that when we were filming. We didn't think about it. So what'd you end up doing?
I think I had. Well, I thought.
Because so for what? So let me just give a little more context real quick.
Yeah.
The problem is it would have been super easy to cut out a nice, easy line if the truck didn't lower.
Yeah.
So that threw off the placement of the truck for the layering. So Brendan had to do some wizardry to fix it.
I think you just, I think this was a separate shot than the one that played right before it. And I think we just waited for it to lower. If
And
I
you
remember
cut?
right. Yeah, because I don't think I had to.
But you had to put
move
me
it.
in. You had to put me in it.
Yeah, but I think I just masked you out of the
just the
shot,
window?
and I think I might have had to move it a little bit, like lined it up a little bit more. But I think if I remember right, we did figure that out, and I think we just basically had the truck sitting there and waited for it to lower down before we did this part. I could be wrong. I can't remember for sure, but yeah, this is it. Literally just you from the other shot sitting in the Cybertruck, and then I'm pretty much just cutting out the window, where you are.
Yeah.
And then the whole rest of the shot is you and the DeLorean pulling up next to it. So,
Which, again, shout out Al. He let me drive this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't drive it far. It was just, a couple times up and down this little strip. But we found out later his wife has never even drove it.
yeah.
What did he say? He said he's let one other person
I think
ever
something
drive
like
it.
that, Yeah.
So he not only were they so helpful in meeting up with us, getting this done, he let me drive this thing so we
Yeah.
could get this shot, and he's literally never let anybody drive it, barely. And when we found that out, again, just man, it was awesome. It was super cool to be able to add this.
It's a lot of responsibility. I wouldn't want to be the one driving it.
Back shot, had to show the back. So this, if you pause it, first of all, great camera work.
Nice focus pull there.
Yeah, that was fun. So again, we were thinking about the shots we wanted and just to get, and this was not actually even right there if you pay attention.
Yeah, I think that's in front of the business there that they had.
Yeah, the printing business. But look at the details in this car.
Yeah.
We don't even really show any shots inside this car, but man, there were so many details.
Yeah, I mean everything was perfect. Honestly, there were so many things that I didn't even know. And I've watched that movie so many times, and I'm a nerd about this stuff. And there were so many things in there that I never realized were even in the car, and never noticed in the movie and stuff like that. Just little details that it's crazy how
He even
how
let
many
us
things-
put in a date and time on the screen.
Yeah, that was cool.
I don't think we ended up using anything with that. But
Yeah, I don't think we did. But yeah, I mean, it had lights and sound effects and everything. When you turn the thing, it would the lights would come on and the flux capacitor would turn on and everything.
Craziness, man.
It's so cool.
Good shot. Looking over. Confused.
And then again, that was the same thing. And I think I did have to
So
mask.
there's the shot we were trying to get. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
you.
you're good.
That was the shot we were actually trying to get earlier. What were you saying though?
In that shot, I think it was pretty much the same thing where it was just basically just cut out you in the window of the Cybertruck. But if you look at it, the parts of the DeLorean passed in front of you, and as soon as something is coming in front of that, it's it's a little bit more difficult because
That layer.
Right, obviously it would look like it was going under that the you in the window.
So you had to cut the.
Yeah, basically just going frame by frame, masking, cutting around the parts of the DeLorean as it's going by.
Jump that back, Ryan, real quick, and try to pause it on that scene right before this where the DeLorean's passing me. Yeah, right here. So as you can see, the
that
food
little
processor, fuel thing, and the jets, I guess you call them,
Yeah.
on the back. So go ahead and hit play and try to pause it right there.
Yeah,
He's,
so
he's saying he cut out.
right, the layer of Andrew in the Cybertruck is just a cutout layer from another shot, but I had to mask around the Mr. Fusion on the back in order for it to look like it was in front of him, basically.
So we got, a
And-
couple layers going on.
And again, just to kind of show how much goes into some of this stuff, that was probably the easiest shot to do as far as cutting stuff out. It still took a little bit of time just to get it to look right, but the other shots where I was cutting the entire Cybertruck out, those shots take the most amount of time just because you're going almost frame by frame, trying to make sure that everything is that there's not little bits that are still in the shot that need to be cut out and stuff like that. And it's more time consuming than it is. It's not really difficult. It's just time consuming and kind of little detail oriented and stuff like that. Yeah.
I gotta imagine though at this point, like none of this was. You're probably like none of this matters. After the shit I just did at the beginning.
Yeah. I wanted everything to look as good as we possibly could, but at the same time it was like.
Well, I didn't mean it doesn't matter, but I mean to you, actual like work of doing it. So everything you had to do earlier just made it seem simple.
Yeah.
I was reading a book, and one of the things it talks about is it says to every day swallow the frog, and I'm like, oh, fuck, that's weird.
Yeah.
But what it means is do whatever your hardest thing is you have to do today, do it right in the morning. So the rest of the day is easy.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that's how this video was, is you had to do everything the hardest first, and the rest of it was like not easy, but comparatively to the beginning, like much easier, I would imagine.
Yeah. No, this whole editing part was just a bunch of fun to do, honestly, and to have that opportunity to
see it.
Yeah, to go see a DeLorean and everything.
And then not only that, he saw our remote.
Yeah.
And wanted this one was better than the one he had, so he had me send him the link to buy one, which I assume he probably did. All right, Ryan, let's go ahead and hit play. Again, filmed and edited by Brendan over here. Yeah. Amazing. And then pause this real quick. Let's give a couple shout outs here. There it is. Al Arney at B&A Screen Printing. He had the DeLorean. Awesome. Thanks again. You guys were so nice and helpful. Wrap Design, Ubox Media, baby. Wrap Printing and Application. Ace Sign Code did an awesome job.
Yep.
I talked to them a lot about I wanted to be able to take this to some shows if I wanted to, or whatever it may be. So I wanted it to look as good as possible.
Didn't they end up getting? They have a Cybertruck too now, don't they?
Yeah. So we did a dual Cybertruck situation and wrapped them at the same time. Got them on the roads together. Recontext. They take care of all of our vehicles detailing. They did a ceramic coating on this one, and then not only that, but had us out at Route 66. The festival right in front of the old state capitol. Great placement. Thank you so much, Derek at Recontext. Matt Humphrey for the Marty costume. And Capital City Pond for the antique radio, which was awesome little prop. And then it's a little thing you might not notice, but G&G Garage, that's my buddy Graham. He does amazing. Oh my God, he restores cars. I got to show you some of the cars he's restored.
Nice,
he has this old truck. He's great at body work. And he just painted the calipers for me.
Nice.
I asked him, I was like, man, you think you could paint these calipers? So if you jump back to the DeLorean scene, like right after it drives by, Ryan. So... and then pause it right there.
Yeah. You can
you can see in the front. The front brakes are bigger, so they have bigger calipers. But he just painted those orange, a nice little touch.
Nice.
And super thankful for that. Everybody that's helped with this vehicle. And then we didn't have it done for this video, so we didn't utilize it all. I don't know if we would have been able to anyway. But shout out to Dan at Auto Editions. He just put lights on the bottom of the truck, which look awesome for usually they're doing an orange glow, but for Christmas I had Christmas lights going on the bottom of it. So thank you, Dan with Auto Editions. Really appreciate that. Let's grow together. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I bet there was over 96 hours. None of that time was mine. Sure. I didn't put any of my time on it. And then I just bet at home and shit, there's probably time that you didn't even
this is
think about.
Definitely the biggest thing I feel like we've done, here that I've been a part of and everything. And I mean, I just had fun the whole time. I mean, I love Back to the Future. It's one of my favorite movies, if not, my favorite. And just to be able
better than Indiana Jones, you like it?
That's debatable.
Okay.
It's up there. It's one of them. But yeah, I mean, it's just like so cool to be able to recreate it and just have fun doing it, but also at the same time kind of market our own business and get our services and everything out there and let people know what we're all about. So
yeah, man, that was really fun. It'll be nice to do some more stuff, not necessarily like that, but some more serious like some promos like that,
larger productions.
I bet you had my time. I probably had at least between filming and shit, I bet there was 20 hours.
Probably.
So we're probably, I bet we were somewhere around 140 hours of everybody between the three of us. That's just three people.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have like a lighting person or a sound person.
Yeah, I think that's another big thing to kind of point out is like, and again on like film sets and stuff like that, they have like so many people.
Director of photography.
Yeah, they have like a one person for like each little thing essentially, you know, to focus on one thing. And for this, it was all just, you know, you, me, and Asa basically, you know, figuring stuff out, you know, some of the stuff out as we were doing it, but, you know, still having a general plan and everything. But again, just like watching the scene as many times as we could to kind of replicate it and see all the little details and little mannerisms and stuff like you said. And then again, you know, giving our own spin on it and adding the oot box flair to it. So
yeah, no, you did an awesome job, man. It turned out so good. Gotta definitely give you props on that. Yeah, that was fun.
I appreciate it.
Should we play the other thing?
So you can,
How long are we at?
we're at an hour and 10 minutes. I would just make it, if you want to make it, unless you want to not dissect it.
I think what we'll do is we're gonna release a video that shows some of the green screen stuff. Maybe
before
just
and
flash through it.
Yeah.
Pull it up. We'll just flash through it real quick. We won't watch the whole thing, but so people could see some of the shots. But we're gonna release a different video. Maybe do like a split screen, green screen, and
Sure.
actual one or something. I don't know how easy that would be, but so this was a rough cut that we put together just to have an idea of how it was going to flow. And again, this was filmed actually at the place so we could put in the actual shot. No smoke.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, clip through a little bit.
And even kind of a more subtle thing, there's no color correction or grading on this either. And you know, it's not something you probably notice as much.
So
but
here you'll see we're in Ace Sign Company's shop. And then right there,
yeah. So that was the original.
that's where he added a door to that.
Yeah.
Worked us into the scene with the truck as it's moved around it. All green screen. So with green screen, it's tough when you have like poofy hair, like little hair pieces like that. So that's when earlier on when I'd asked him about it, I was curious if it was tough to get it or not. Go ahead, skip up a little bit. So again, here's some shots, no sound effects.
So awkward.
That was one thing we didn't talk about either is the sound effects really, but here's the behind shot. That green screen wall works great. Look at that, man. So that's in our studio, that green screen wall. There's the peel out part that he used. There's Ace. So jump back to that real quick. Oh, yeah, that was the passenger side. Yeah, you're right.
And
you didn't even have to flip it.
I might have actually, I think I did do something on the windshield.
Never mind, you flipped it. Because the Ace sign was backwards. What were you saying though? Sorry.
I think I might have. I think you were saying earlier if I had to take like you out of the, you know, like the windshield. I think there were a couple shots where I don't remember how I did it exactly, but I just.
So you didn't see me through the windshield?
Yeah, I think I basically just like blacked out the windshield almost, so you just couldn't see anything through it. But
yeah, so again, all green screen here. You can see the light that we were talking about with the flames on our face is still there. Beep beep. Again, this was like the only shot we got before we got kicked out. Now we're in JCPenney parking lot. And then it's all mostly not green screen. And I don't think we had the after credits shot at this point, right?
Yeah, I don't think this video has it.
Let's go ahead, skip forward. Go ahead, keep skipping. No sound effects. When you watch, you can pay attention to all the sound effects. Added a cut where we zoomed in on all the stuff.
Yeah.
And then this is, you don't have it fly here, right?
No, I think this will show the original shot of you just driving it basically down the parking lot. Yeah, so just doing that drone move to kind of make it look like it was. And just driving around and coming right back.
Oh yeah, I did go out enough to nice. I didn't even realize that was going to help with that turnaround. Yeah. So we'll release a side by side this or something like that, so you
Yeah.
can see it and see the difference. But yeah, man, that's awesome. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, a lot of work, but I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoy. I mean, I've been doing this stuff since I was a kid, basically, and I think it's even better to be able to do it, for like for clients and stuff like that. I mean, obviously this was for us, but also getting to do some of this stuff for other businesses and just help them grow and stuff like that. I really enjoy it. I've had a good time working here so far. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, it's fun. It's fun to, and I think it's sometimes. It gets tough to keep pushing creativity and doing stuff, but just trying things,
Sure,
I think we just try things and see what works. I mean, this video, I think it has, at this point, across all platforms, over 100,000 views, which I feel like is pretty good.
I think it was up to like almost 50,000 on Facebook when I was looking at it earlier. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I think that's awesome. It's I got a lot of comments from people on it.
Yeah.
So also it was cool. We dropped, and one of the reasons actually I felt bad because I pressured you to get this done, and then we waited to drop it. We could have relieved some pressure there. Probably felt good to have it done though.
Yeah, no, I honestly it was I think we were trying to get it up on wasn't it October 21st, because that was the day that they go back in time, I think, in the movie.
Yeah, that's the day at the mall.
Yeah.
But then we found out, what was it? Did we even drop it on the actual day that we were talking about, the second day, or did we not?
I can't remember. I don't think we did.
Because it was around election time, so we were we were thinking about that. Like,
Yeah.
all right, is election day the best day to drop it? I
ended
think
up-
that's what it was. We were going to do it on election day.
Yeah.
And we were like, that might not be a good day to drop it.
Yeah.
Back to the Future Day or Marty McFly Day or something.
I
Yeah,
think-
his birthday or something.
Yeah,
I
something like
think we
that.
ended up dropping it on like his birthday or something.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at is we were launching our website and dropping this movie on the same day is what the goal was.
Right.
And we were going to launch the website sooner, and it just took way longer than expected. Definitely check out our new website if you haven't seen it yet. But we were able to drop both of these at the same time, and it was just really cool to kind of launch that.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of work put into that website too, from everybody.
Oh my gosh,
here.
and it
Yeah.
still needs stuff. Yeah, it still needs more of our stuff on it, like our what do I want to say? Like our work, just from
Yeah.
other clients. Our
Content.
portfolio needs expanded on there more, but we got some stuff on there. Yeah, definitely check out that website. Definitely check out this video. By this point you've kind of seen it all, but it's not the same watching it on here, so you need to watch it. I should have recommended that at the beginning. And then, keep an eye out. Make sure you follow us. We'll post some split screen stuff, and I think that'd be really cool. Make some TikToks out of it.
Yeah.
We could just literally split screen that.
Show the before and after the process.
So check it out. Appreciate it. We're gonna try to do more of these creative combos where we break down different videos, different content, websites. It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot that goes into what we do that people probably don't notice or don't realize the time or whatever. So I like that we included the time on this. I feel like we should do that for everything.
Yeah, and it's kind of it kind of shows that, like, if if you're able to put the time into something,
The difference.
yeah, like it just shows how the quality that you can get with that stuff. And I mean, at the same time, I feel like that's pretty good for what it ended up being. That's still pretty
Oh yeah.
again, a lot of movies and even like short films, I mean, they can take months to do. And
This
the
was
fact
like
that
a
we were
week.
able to do all this in about a week or so, I feel like is pretty.
With 3 people.
Sure, yeah, I feel like it's pretty crazy. I'm pretty proud of myself, honestly. For
You should be.
I definitely can be a perfectionist a little bit on stuff and take my time, but I feel like I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
No, it was, and I think one thing I try to explain to people is they ask how much something is.
Right.
How much will it cost to do this video? You know what I mean? And it's like, well, how serious do you want to be?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because That's the thing is, and just so people out there know, like I've always fought this battle because I know what can be done and how it should be done with lighting and light blockers and this big setup. But what are you trying to spend? Like, do you want to spend 10 grand? You know what I mean? Do you want to how serious do you want this to be? Because we can take it as far as we want, but we also, what's nice with Ubox is we also will produce something that's just short and simple and
smaller stuff.
Saves a little bit of money for the people that don't have those big budgets and can still be effective.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it's just like, give me a budget and we'll do what the. Honestly, if people did that more, I think that would be better for them.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because on our side, we're it's like, all right, this is what we got. We want to make it over the top. You know what I mean? And that would definitely be nice.
Yeah, just get a client that'll give us $1 million.
So if you're a business that wants to give us $1 million, no, seriously though, anybody that wants some real time put into something, we could come up with something awesome. Whether it's funny or a parody or whatever it is, $10,000-$20,000, like we could do something really cool with that, and you'd be pleasantly surprised, I think, at what would come out of it. Again, this was a week and like 3 people.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say a week because it was 130 hours.
It was roughly
around there. So, but Creative Convos. Stay tuned for number 3. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but we're going to start doing more of these this year. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Inside the Box. Thanks, Brennan. You did awesome work. I should have waited to gift this to you for the podcast.
On the podcast. I was definitely surprised when after the video went up when you gave it to me. I was like, that's.
Well,
I appreciate it.
I appreciate your hard work on it, and I know how big a fan you are, so I was like, this will be in better hands with him.
I appreciate you for the opportunity. So
I do like it being on the desk, though.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.